So I'm sitting here on the gorgeous beach I just showed you all, and I'm the only one out here this morning. I was making it my absolute commitment to to see every sunrise, and and I just wanted to turn on. Hopefully, I guess these are cicadas or whatever. Hopefully, they're not going to be making too much noise. And oh, look at them stopping! Oh wow! I hope I didn't offend them. This is where they live after all. I'm just visiting. But how precious. Thank you. And the beautiful sound of the water coming in. But I wanted to just talk more about recognizing those unfinished things in our lives. You know, this pause prompt for this week. And if you got the same sort of societal messages that I got growing up, which is, oh, you got to finish things. Don't start things that you don't finish. Can't leave things incomplete. Don't try that if you don't think you want to continue. That kind of thing. How do you know if you want to continue if you don't try it? Curious. But anyway, I used to think that as a kid. To me, that was the darndest thing for somebody to tell you. Like, don't try it if you don't think you want to continue. Like, you're always starting and stopping things. I'm 7 years old. I don't know what I want. Like, I want to experiment, So anyway, that was one of the other darndest things I used to think when I was a kid. If you didn't know how to spell a word, you ask somebody and say, look it up in the dictionary. And I used to think, how the heck am I supposed to look up something that I don't know how to spell? Like, this is when you're like in second grade, third grade, like you're still trying to get phonetics and all that stuff down. Like, oh my goodness. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so, but this idea of unfinished things in our lives, and I think what's important is for us to allow ourselves to go back to those instincts we had as a kid when it came to wanting to try stuff, and you try things, you see if it's a fit, like you decide if you're going to continue. And many times you decide, oh, I don't really like that. It wasn't what I thought it was. And so, we give ourselves permission to stop and try something else. What unfinished projects, ideas, or emotions am I carrying? How does their presence shape my creativity? So, we have unfinished things that, so unfinished things don't just take up space in our studios, in our homes, they live in our minds, quietly weighing on us. A half-written letter, unresolved conversations, that's a big one sometimes. It's things we want to say, we just don't say them, and they hang in there. And if you're like me sometimes not saying anything to try to spare, relationships or whatever, they always come back to haunt me. And then I think, why didn't I say something? Like we talk about art left mid-process. These carry energy of waiting. But are they waiting for resolution, or are they already serving their purpose in their unfinished state? That's a good question. And I think at this point in our lives, as we are, just enjoying our art, enjoying exploration, just enjoying, the freedom that we have to explore and to try different things. You may be going through your career change. You may have retired already. Your kids may have left the house now. You have more time, whatever it is. I'm inviting us to go back and look at all the unfinished things that we have. But let's look at them with fresh eyes. So we'll go back and we're going to look at everything that's just been sitting and just decide, no, I don't want to come back to this. It's finished now because I've decided that I no longer want to do it. So check mark, done. Move it off the table, come to the next thing. And let's go through all those things that we have sitting around that are haunting us, that are making us feel like, we're a failure because we didn't finish something, we didn't like it or whatever, and give ourselves permission now to say we're done with it. Well, we're done. We're going to just clean that off the table. We're going to take it off the bookshelf. We're going to, take it out of the garage, that box that we've had it stored in. We're going to give it away to somebody else who may appreciate a half-done project, a half-knitted sweater. How many people would enjoy getting a half knitted sweater to finish it. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So it's like passing, the gifts forward, but giving ourselves permission to, we're done with it. And I think it's a wonderful way this week as we think about the pauses. Let's just start going through areas of your home, just go around, and every time you see something sitting there that's unfinished, greet it and, reconnect with it and decide if you want to complete it or not. If you don't want to complete it, put it in a box, put it in a bag, something you may have, and start collecting them. And at the end of this pause week, everything that you've collected, that you've decided that you are no longer going to deal with, you're done with it. It's completed because you're not going to do it anymore. Give it away. Just move it right out of your environment and just go ahead and give it away. And clean the slate. Just clean the slate and be willing to feel good about that. Like I find it very cathartic. I've started doing that, and I'm telling you, it has made a big difference between beating myself up around, oh, I didn't finish it, I shouldn't start it. And then you know what that energy does? It keeps you from doing other projects because you think, oh, well, I didn't finish that, or I haven't finished this. And then you're thinking about, was it a waste of money? No, just pay it forward. Don't even think about it as a waste of money. Pay it forward. Somebody else will get it and will love to have it. I know I've adopted a number of people's projects from the Goodwill, things that yarn and stuff that people have gotten and decided not to use it, and I've gotten it and used it. So, it's just a recycling, right? It's just putting things back out there into the universe for someone else to take, and the energy that you put in to begin it is like paying it forward. It's like your gift forward to another person who gets to get it maybe for a reduced price, for maybe the project already haven't been started and they get to finish it. I mean, there's so many ways to look at this idea of unfinished things. But I think what's most important is to free ourselves, is to pause, go through our environment, and all those things that are just sitting there unfinished. Either we're going to put them in the finished pile because you forgot about them. I've done that too. Like I'll see something, like I just came across a bunch of books. I was talking with my patrons about this. I came across like 4 books that were stuck away. They were like halfway done. The construction was already done. I got to work on the insides. And I'm like, oh my God, I had forgotten I'd gotten these books to a halfway point, And so yeah, I'm going to finish those. Coming up when I get back from Thailand, we are going to start some projects on those books and get them finished. So sometimes you come across stuff you just forgot about. You tucked it so far away and you just literally forgot about it. And then other times it's like you want to forget about it. I got those projects too. We're like, oh, I don't want them to appear again because I don't want to finish them and I don't know what to do about it. So my solution has been, let them go. I've made a decision that they no longer serve me, that I'm done with them, and that's okay, So, yeah, let's take a new twist on unfinished business, unfinished projects, and move them out into the world, pay them forward, and give ourselves the opportunity to allow more things to come in, allow ourselves to finish the things that we finished, and kind of like let that part of ourselves go. And just allow the freedom to start afresh. So yeah, unfinished things that are in our lives. Yeah. So let's take a look at them. I'm anxious to hear your comments below, some of the things that you've discovered that as a result of doing this prompt, or other ways that you may look at unfinished projects and things in your lives. Let's just give ourselves the freedom to move on. I pulled this image. I mean, look at him. That face looks like the weight of unfinished things. I mean, honestly, I generally like more of the Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva types of, bronzes and what have you, and figurines. But when I pulled this and looked at this, I thought, boy, that's exactly how I feel. The way he's looking is how I feel. with a whole list of stuff that I have to do and just what I'm tasking myself. It's like this weight of unfinished things. It's just this weight that I am determined to resurrect myself from. Oh, I'm resurrecting myself from that. So let me go ahead and let's just get him covered. And I had pulled this piece out because I've been loving working on my papers and sort of these, I don't know, these shapes that, you know. So I have this. It looks like an extension of this, but you know, it goes together, but not precisely. I could wrap this around. So I could wrap that around like that. It's kind of cool. And then, as we do in book arts, you want to consider your spread. So everything is flipping out. This works well with this over here. You know, all the flip outs, you know, however you do the pages, we're having nice integration of color, texture, symbols. So keep that in mind when you're working. Okay, so now this is going to go there, but before that happens, I'm going to write here the weight of unfinished things. I'm going to do that in the white. Okay, love it. I knew I was gonna like that white. Here we go. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that is this spread done. So we're here. We flip this way. We flip this way. We have this. But at the same time, we do this way. We're still in alignment with what's happening here. Oh, I love it. Wow. The fun thing about doing books like this is we get so much collaging in, so many opportunities to really think about collage and practice our placement and just, you know, like the idea of here wrapping it around the page like that, so that in a spread like this, we really get the opportunity to use something that speaks to both you know, sides and, you know, of the expression. Oh my goodness, I am really enjoying this this pause project. Love it. I can't wait. Wait till our books are all full and chunky and yummy. It's just going to be divine. But not to rush anything, not to hurry anything. I want to enjoy every precious page as we move through this journey. So, love you guys, and I will see you again next week.